Part of what a recording like this seeks to do is to put alongside the relatively familiar, like As the Heart by Howells or My Beloved Spake by Hadley, works which very few listeners will have heard. There was this major Howells piece, The House of the Mind, which is about safety in the interior world of our own minds and the fact that we can find contact with God there. That Howells piece acted as a centre point. We found other works that have a similar sort of theme, and they have music by his teachers, those who influenced him most, such as Stamford and Vaughan Williams, on the one side of the recording, Howells at the centre, following him through from 1915 to 1960, so a large part of his composing career, and then some very recent works which are directly influenced or inspired by Howells. So we have the Howells setting of Like as the Heart, very famous anthem by Howells, and then a piece by Nico Muhly, written in 2002, setting the same text and explicitly inspired by that Howells setting.
I'm Henry. I'm a third-year classicist at the Queen's College, and I'm also a choral scholar at Queen's, having sung there for the last 3 years. My favourite piece is probably actually House of the Mind, if it's not too cliché to pick the title piece, merely because for me, Howells combines this magic sense of almost folk music with elements of the Anglican choral tradition, of which I'm quite familiar, and then combines it with these floating, far more Catholicized elements of the choral tradition. So I feel it combines all sorts of different varieties of music into one rather extraordinary piece.
Great to be working with Owen and Queen's, of course. There's always something about a college choir, a student choir. There's great enthusiasm. They bring an enormous amount of kind of open-mindedness to sessions. Howells is always a challenge. The phrases are very, very long. The balance is not always an easy issue. Quite often his writing is doubled exactly by the organ. And as a singer, that's where it gets really, really difficult. I think it's just a little bit harder than everybody thinks.
The commissions that are on the disc, of course, are our chance to expand this choral repertory. So there were 2 pieces which we commissioned from David Bednall, who was at Queen's and with whom we've worked a lot, to complete, if you like, a set of 4 settings of texts in honour of the Blessed Virgin Mary that Howells wrote for Westminster Cathedral in 1915. Only 2 of that set of 4 pieces by Howells survive. And so the 2 pieces by David Bednall are, in some sense, our completion of that partly lost set.